Hello everybody and welcome to Uproot Reddit. To all the receptionists out there taking calls left and right from strangers on a daily basis, what is the most awkward conversation you've ever experienced? Is it the cat lady describing how many cats she has and naming all of them one by one? Did you ever have a conversation with a philosopher about the meaning of life? Or perhaps a kid accidentally took mommy or daddy's phone and called to tell you about their Lego set and how mommy or daddy stepped on one of their Legos barefooted? Now, you would think being a receptionist meant taking calls that pertain to the business they are working for, and that all calls were purely to set up appointments, get a quote, or inquire about certain products or services offered by said company. Boy, what an assumption to make. Take it from Reddit user Mary Rose Tudor, who was a receptionist at their local church. They were just taking in calls that were supposed to be about the church, but you'd be amazed at how many calls they took up that were not about the church, but about a doctor's office. And one such person called specifically about inquiring a doctor's appointment. And this person continued to banter and rant about their current health problems, some of which are just TMI. In today's post, if you need to speak to my boss, come on Sundays at 8 a.m. or 11 a.m. So, way back in the innocent year of 2015, I had a job at my church. I was one of two receptionists or secretaries. I worked with a lovely older lady named June or Judy. I don't remember which, but let's go with June. I was fresh out of high school when I started this job and was very excited. Working at my church, most of my job was taking calls, running small errands, directing people to the right place, for example, the pastor's office, daycare, support groups, etc. Now, it is very obvious that I work in a church, but the church's phone number was very similar to a doctor's office. So sometimes when I got a phone call, I would answer with, "First Baptist Church, this is Mary, how may I help you?" When that person asked for Dr. Smith, I knew they were asking for the doctor's office that was down the street from us, and not the pastor, who has a doctorate in theology and psychology, and whose name was not Dr. Smith. Most people will understand and just hang up, but some, like this lovely lady, who, is Karen, did not. Names have been changed for reasons. It was around noon, and I was about to get lunch for me and June when the phone rang at my desk. I answered with my usual. "First Baptist Church, this is Mary, how may I help you?" "Yes, I have an appointment today." "Okay, may I ask who with?" We had several pastors and other members of church staff. "Well, you should know." There are several members of the church staff. If I could just get the name of who you're seeing today." "I'm seeing Dr. Smith. Or Dr. Kamen. I don't remember." Me fully realizing the problem. "Oh, I'm sorry. This is First Baptist Church of Raccoon City. If you want, I can give you the number for the doctor's office." "This isn't the office of Dr. Smith?" "No, like I said, this is First Baptist Church of Raccoon City. But if you need to speak with a pastor or someone on church staff, I can transfer you." "Well, can you take a message to Dr. Smith?" "I can't. I work for this church, not the doctor's office." "You're a secretary, aren't you? Give the super private message to Dr. Smith." Karen then proceeds to give me super private medical information, which is super gross. Ma'am, I can't deliver that message. It's not my job." "Then let me speak to your boss." I'm guessing that this Karen doesn't take no for an answer. If she's right, then she's right, at least in her eyes. Anyways, we continue. Me wanting to do this since forever. "Well, if you want to speak to my boss, he pretty much has an opening line 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But if you really want to get personal with him, come to First Baptist. Our service times are 8 a.m. and 11 a.m. And if you want to get a good brunch, come in at 11. Also, our Bible study groups meet at 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. We also have small groups that meet Sunday, Wednesday, Friday nights with various church leaders. So, would you like a list? I never had someone hang up so fast in my life. Hey, at least you're a professional. Oh boy, the amount of awkwardness in that one phone call is just too cringe-worthy to even be considered a business call. But at least you got some advertisement out of that. And it's kind of inconvenient that the church's receptionist hotline is the same format as the doctor's office phone number, especially the doctor's office or Dr. Smith's office from down the street. Yes, people may mistake such a number for the doctor's office, but there was no reason to just keep going on the assumption that you are calling the doctor's office when clearly Mary Rose Tudor specifically said that they were working at the local church. At least they were doing their job. Speaking of doing a job, whatever job people have, it's just common sense, and partly within the contract, that one follows the rules and guidelines specified within that job. Any work outside their field of expertise could violate someone's contract or cause trouble for others, especially if said job is about guarding. Reddit user Caladan109 was only doing their job, which is being a guard at a retail company. But one person thinks that guards are supposed to serve people, quote unquote, in their spare time. In today's post, Karen thinks guards are only for service. Well, in a different way, yes. But if we are talking about an entitled customer, then her approach to the definition of service will be completely off the deep end, and here's why. So I was a retail guard contracted by Company A to help Company B and must never serve the public as it is a distraction from my work. And like we said before, probably part of the contract too. I witnessed a lad hide whiskey in his jacket and speed walked to cut him off at the exit. Yeah, nice try. Had the "excuse me" once, then louder, and I ignore it. This is where the lady comes in and she expects that he would just turn around and give her the attention that she so quote unquote deserves. Got to the CCTV podium at the door. The lad drops the whiskey in the fruit section and legs it. Karen comes over with a sarcastic tone, motioned a finger at me. Just because you're a security guard does not give you the right to refuse service. If it's the kind of service where Caladan109 does your every bidding even though they're supposed to be guarding, yeah, I don't think that's going to work. After all, they have a right to refuse service, especially service that is deemed quote unquote demanding. Anyways, we continue. I was in shock and she just walked off before I could reply. Yikes. These awkward situations just escalate to unnecessary drama when it comes to these demanding customers. If you want service done, go to the services counter. If you want somebody to help you out, let's say with getting some stuff off of the shelves at a retail company, then definitely ask a customer service representative, not a security guard who's supposed to stand there and make sure nobody steals anything. Anyways, even with more people working from home, still taking phone calls or doing any form of protection or guarding jobs always deals with crazy customers such as the ones from today's stories. But hey, you gotta have patience. And some of these people have really good patience when it comes to dealing with customers, especially Mary Rose Tudor and Caladan109. Although for Caladan109, let's just say that Karen was able to get her 2 cents in before they could just say, you're wrong there, lady. To all the receptionists and guards out there that are doing their job, we salute to you and hope the best for you. Anyways, that's all the time we have for today. But don't worry, we'll be back for more awkward conversation stories right here on Uproot Reddit. Stay safe out there, and if you ever run into any awkward conversations with customers, do your best and hang in there. And make sure it goes in one ear and out the other when it comes to these awkward conversations so you won't have to remember them for a very long time. And guess what? We'll see you all next time.